focus. Ideate, innovate, enable.
Very warm welcome to all of you for the very first city edition of the AI Alliance event, where we will discuss the various facets of artificial intelligence and its impact on Pune's technology and innovation landscape. This AI Alliance initiative is brought to you with our associate partners Oracle, Samco, IBM, Vistara, Adobe, and Reliance Industries Limited. And the event technology partner is Town Hall. We have an action packed evening ahead through engaging sessions and discussions. With that, I'm going to welcome Moneycontrol's managing editor, Nalin Mehta, to deliver the welcome address.
We are speaking in a week in which the Prime Minister has specifically said that India would be taking, well, he wants India to take an upper hand in AI. And AI is, of course, changing entire paradigms around us as we speak. And there are several initiatives that many of you are involved in around the National Quantum Mission, the AI mission, the Semiconductor mission. While all of that is happening around us, we at Moneycontrol are particularly committed to documenting every aspect of this revolution, of being the platform for leading ideas, debate, and conversations around it. Just in December, we had the AI Global Summit in Bangalore, where some of the leading minds on AI from around the world attended. Andrew Nagy, for example, Chris Miller, the author of The Chip Wars, a number of global CEOs and leading thinkers on AI. And we are very delighted to take that initiative forward to come to Pune. This is just the beginning. We will be expanding this to multiple other cities as well, going forward to Hyderabad, to Bombay, to Delhi. And we are particularly delighted to welcome all of you here. I hope you have a very fruitful and interesting evening. And hopefully this is just the beginning of a much longer conversation. Thank you.
Time to then kick off our first session. Please welcome the firebrand Ashwini Bhide, the Managing Director of Mumbai Metro Rail Corporation, on stage for a fireside chat on urban mobility and AI, how AI is revolutionizing urban transportation.
I want to ask you, how do you see the integration of artificial intelligence and technology shaping the future of urban transport in Maharashtra?
It's in the common knowledge that AI is an enabling technology which augments human tasks by reducing the possibility of errors and as well as by doing something which probably the human beings can't do. In fact, today's urban transport or urban transit systems are not only the physical infrastructure which is made of cement and steel, but it is going digital. It is becoming smarter and soon it is going to be more intelligent. Today, smart systems are there everywhere and we can have glimpses of it everywhere. So the traffic lights, which today most of the cities, especially the smart cities under the smart city mission, and in a city like Mumbai, although it is not in smart city mission still, these cities have smart traffic lighting system, which basically improves the quality of traffic, the way traffic is managed in the city.
How is it that Mumbai Metro has been working to enhance consumer experience or customer experience through the use of metros?
That is there right from the planning and execution, because the way stations are built, the kind of rolling stock we provide, the way stations are designed. So everything is done keeping the consumer or the customer or the commuter in mind. So the safety features, the comfort features, the reliability features in this system, they are all there because we have the commuter at the center of our planning.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Ashwini Bhide.
With that, it's time to turn the spotlight to one of Pune's own, one of its most successful entrepreneurs, Kishore Patel, the co-founder, CEO, and MD of KPIT Technologies. From 1990 to 2024, you've seen so many waves of transformation and change, from the dot-com boom to the dot-com bust. But would you say AI is perhaps the biggest monster wave of them all?
For sure, I guess AI is all encompassing all the functions. If you look at India, if you look at the population of white collar jobs, if you look at it, and if their productivity goes up by 30%, the impact it can have in the economy is tremendous. So I think from that perspective, and it is not just a technology, I believe, it's a way of thinking. It goes into little more core. It is not only technology, but the way you think, also the way you articulate. As very interestingly, when this point was discussed, one of the key points they think in AI is the storytelling. And so once you are in a position to articulate it correctly, then you can really make multiple uses of the technology.
On that note, thank you very much, Mr. Patel,
Thank
for
you.
talking.
Thank you.
Now, the next panel has someone who will deep dive into what can help India to have an upper hand in artificial intelligence. Chandra, over to you.
Amitabh, I want to start with you. Bhashini kind of took center stage when Prime Minister Modi's speech was translated simultaneously into multiple languages. That's when people realized the game-changing potential that this technology could have. But it's been operational for a while. How are you measuring user adoption? Are you satisfied with the current growth rate?
The Honorable Prime Minister used the most difficult part of our entire breadth of portfolio of offering, which was simultaneous speech translation. And it's kind of experiment and growing up. But that's not the base of what we are trying to do, right? At the base of it, we have developed AI models which translate one language to other among the 22 languages which is there in the Constitution, and it is in full production site.
From the point of view of an Indian startup, how do they stand to benefit if they subscribe to GPU access from a domestic data center when compared to a data center from, say, a US or a Europe?
So today, while we all talk about that India has got the third largest number of startups in the world, majority of them, the numbers are, I think we have got 60 lakh IT professionals, around 5 lakh IT professionals are AI professionals. But the unfortunate part is majority of those AI professionals are working for foreign companies making their AI models. They are not making AI models for India, for Indian companies to solve Indian use cases, right? If we have to make our Indian startups, Indian companies, and if we have to make projects like Bhashini is a very big project, and there are many other projects who are like waiting in the wings. If we have to make this project highly scalable to solve the real world issues of India at ground level, we will have to develop the AI infrastructure in India.
On that note, thank you very much.
I would now like to invite on stage Bhavya Dilip Kumar, Moneycontrol. Bhavya and Chandra will now be in conversation with Santosh Iyer, who is the MD and CEO of Mercedes-Benz India, who will take us through Mercedes-Benz's incredible success story in India and how artificial intelligence is making its way into all the elements of the automotive value chain.
30 years of Mercedes-Benz in India, right? I mean, this is a remarkable journey. And I'm sure you would have seen multiple waves of innovation coming in. So talk to us a little bit about that. Maybe if you can, give us some milestones during this journey, that'll be great.
This year is special for us in many ways, not only because we completed 30 years, but there are a lot of milestones. I think when I look at our existence in India, we started in '94, and for the first 15 years till 2009, we got some remarkable products like the W124, iconic cars, a lot of aspiration. But still, we didn't see, I would say, a big offtake, I fondly tell my colleagues in Stuttgart that India is a market where you need to have strategic patience. It will pay up, but you need to be patient for the right timing. It was in 2013-14 that we started accelerating our journey, and we said that we first need to get products suitable for India. So we started with a long wheelbase E-Class, a product only made for India. So India is the only market in the world to have a right-hand drive long wheelbase E-Class, so customized for India. Then the electric mobility, discussion started. So we not only introduced the first cars in India in 2020, just before COVID, but we were also the first to localize an EV. So we are the only manufacturer to locally produce an EV in India.
But where do you see pockets of demand beyond the metros in the smaller cities?
When I look at tier 2, tier 3, there the penetration is only 0.4. So clearly there is a big opportunity in tier 2 and tier 3 where consumers have a desirability to own, but there is no necessity today. You know, I am in a small town, I don't need a luxury vehicle maybe. Also it's dependent on family structures. You know, till the time my dad doesn't drive a Mercedes-Benz, I cannot drive a Mercedes-Benz. So these are socio-cultural factors, and this is changing, and that's going to drive demand for the future.
That's great. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Santosh.
It's time for our first unicorn track of the evening, featuring 3 of Pune's SaaS unicorns. What can SaaS firms do to ride the wave of AI-led transformation?
At a recent event, I think it was the SaaS Boomi event in Chennai, Freshworks' co-founder Girish Mathrubootham described AI as the, monster wave. He described it as the third monster wave that he's seen after the, internet, the web browser era, and the iPhone era. Would you agree with that? That this is the biggest monster wave, perhaps, in all the years that you've been an entrepreneur, Krishna?
So I think at least in our business, so we are in a sales readiness, sales productivity. How do you improve the productivity of our people? I think I genuinely feel that we are in an era where we have to either, our market is getting completely disrupted. And I can talk more about it, but I think this is one of the biggest change which is happening.
It's very interesting. I think it's in my mind, it's not even a monster wave. I think that change has already happened. And it's a change that has never been seen before. So it is actually disrupting some of these phenomena where people were thinking, automation would do 5%, 6% efficiencies. You would improve your gross margins by 2 or 3%, 4%. Now you can actually think 40, 50%.
AI has already impacted us, right? And in massive way. So when Google Maps works today, right, or we are like using OCR and we are using like translation for so long, right? It's just this change because of the LLMs, where like, and OpenAI actually opening it up to the world, right? That's where suddenly there was like a interest that's in there, but like very shortly, it's already disrupted.
Thank you very much, Krishna, Monish, and Milind, for your insights, and a huge round of applause for the Pune unicorns.
The second unicorn track will be talking about their bits to billions journey from startup to unicorn.
Sandeep, what did you do differently to crack B2B?
I think right from day one, we were clear that while you call it a B2B e-commerce play, this is at the end of the day, it's an operations game, it's a cost game. All it matters at the end of the day that Excel sheet will get pulled out, and if you don't match the cost in the second decimal point, assuming you are meeting all the quality parameters, your operations are actually that eligible. And that is the reason why all of our investment, all of our focus has been on that operating excellence and operating cost.
Tell us about what, made you start up or think of a startup. What were you solving for then?
My trigger of starting, of my own was, pretty topical, because in our area, payments was the first area which got disrupted by fintechs. And being a banker, payment was one of the vertical I was heading. So I had the ringside view. At the same time, I was sitting outside. The real action was happening by someone else. I was just fascinated by the kind of things you can build without building the distribution.
On that note, thank you both very much for talking to us, Anurag and Sandeep. Now let's hear what state governments have to say on how Indian employees can upskill, reskill in AI, and the role that state governments can play in fostering innovation and, encouraging responsible AI at the same time.
What all are the spheres in which artificial intelligence has been used by Telangana government?
Today, we are working on multiple, projects, more than 17 plus odd projects across 10 departments, I would say, ranging from healthcare to education to forest department to agriculture to transportation and so on. So, and these projects or initiatives solve a particular problem within the government, creating impact or probably saving lives. So we actually installed ADAS devices, advanced driver assistance systems and driver monitoring system. It actually analyzes the road conditions. It studies the the oncoming traffic, the speed of the vehicle, pedestrians, all the object classification it does, and it alerts the driver just in time to prevent an accident. It just gives a beep to the driver, assessing all the conditions and says a collision is about to happen. So that's just in time, decision that AI gives to the driver.
Thank you so much for your valuable time and for such fascinating insight.
In this next discussion, you will get valuable insights on how to effectively integrate Gen AI into your business strategy. Please welcome on stage C. Prasanna Venkatesan, Director of Product Management at Oracle.
Where do you see, enterprises are at in terms of their AI or generative AI adoption?
When I look at AI and technologies such as generative AI now, I mean, generative AI especially is making hyperscalers like Oracle, and I'm sure it's the same with our competition as well. We really have to be on our A game. Now with generative AI, when I go and start a conversation with a customer, they've already done certain things and they are actually asking me, what else can you do to help me move my business needle further?
How is Oracle taking these companies, to the next phase of growth through AI?
Oracle, as far as we are concerned, and I'm sure a lot of my competition also shares this mindset, we want to meet the needs of our customer wherever they may be. So whether you're an applications user which was built by Oracle, or for example, if you are using our databases, we are building AI into all of those things that are already being sold by us. But for those, naturally, we know that not everybody uses Oracle. So we want to be able to provide generative AI services, which we are doing that. And for companies, I'm sure you must have used their service to take a ride from the airport to any other place. Dara Khosrowshahi was on stage with our CEO last year, and they have lock, stock, and barrel moved their entire infrastructure onto Oracle as well. So it's like we meet your needs wherever that might be.
Recently, Oracle's chairman, Larry Ellison, announced that they are looking to expand their data center capabilities across existing locations as well as start new locations. So will we see any of these data centers coming to India?
I'm certain you will. One of the other innovations as well that Larry spoke about during our earnings call is for us to be able to bring cloud capabilities even to customers who are a little bit reluctant to move off of on-prem. And there may be a lot of reasons for that. One might be data sovereignty, another might be regulatory concerns, especially with financial and other types of regulatory concerns. In fact, he also spoke about NRI, which is Nomura, which is based in Japan. Half of the Tokyo Stock Exchange runs on NRI, which is actually a dedicated region cloud that was built by Oracle. So half of the Tokyo Exchange stock transactions run on Oracle. And with just about 10 racks, we are able to bring that and drop it into any location as well. So for us, that's a big change and innovation.
Prasanna, on that note, great talking to you.
I would like to call on stage Dr. Dakshinamurthy V. Kolluru, founder and CEO, UGDX Institute of Technology.
Are institutes ready? I mean, institutions like edtech companies like Upgrad, do you think they are ready to offer? Maybe if you can just share a few, offerings that they do, that'll be helpful for some of us to note it down.
The belief that I have, and that's what I'm trying to express through Upgrad, is that there are two types of building AI strength. One is teach an engineer or someone who is good at AI to become really good at AI. teach them programming, coding, all these new techniques. But I am less interested in that. While I do that, I am less interested in that. For me, I believe the real innovations will happen if I take someone who is not in AI, a business guy who understands what she does really well, dermatologist or creative photographer, and teach them enough AI so that they can disrupt their field. I think there'll be a lot of innovation.
And now I invite Chandra Shrikant, who's our Deputy Executive Editor of Moneycontrol. We would request her to please come back on stage to moderate the next session. Now, India is making global waves in artificial intelligence, and Pune is at its heart. But what will it take to make the city an AI hub?
I want to start with you, Shailesh, from Tata Technologies. What do you think, gives Pune the edge to become India's AI hub?
Pune has been a culture where there's always been learning and innovation, which is built into the culture of the city. And I think that is something where also the core foundation, because of the presence of the automotive industry, a lot of good engineering colleges in Pune. I think the ecosystem has always been there for Pune to be the place where these kind of innovations can happen.
What do you think about Pune's potential in AI?
You need great education, right?
Yeah.
And research hubs. We have plenty of them, right? We need a hub of large established companies. We have them right here, right? We have great research centers. We have them right here. We need VCs. It's growing, but we have them right here. So all those ecosystems and a good quality of life relative to some of the other larger metros. So we have all the catalysts here. So
you also have water, I'm assuming.
Right. Yes. And so the question is then why not instead of why?
Tell us a little about the kind of startups that are coming out of Venture Center, and why did you choose to incubate those kind of startups?
We have chosen to work in this domain because you will notice that there are a lot of disciplines, there are a lot of sectors where solutions are needed to pressing problems, be it diagnostics, devices, therapies, drugs, vaccines, food, nutrition, energy, environment, right? These are the real pressing problems of the day as well. And we need to find solutions. By the way, AI plays a role there too, but in a different way, right? And it's important that we nurture an ecosystem where all of these kind of companies can also flourish.
Sally, what would your advice to Pune startups, what would your advice to them be in terms of attracting venture capital?
I think one is that while founders are finding Pune a good spot to hide from the limelight, sometimes you do have to come up and speak about it. I think the other unique thing is that the scholarship and the depth in certain sectors is there. So if the startups are working in that space, the partnership with those companies early on will give the early scale advantage to that startup.
With that, we come to the end of this event in Pune. Thank you all very much.
Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.